Hi, it's me. It's been over a month since I worked on a YouTube video, and there's so many things that I feel like have happened since I made my last video, but we're just gonna get into it. So I made a video like the first weekend of March saying what I wanted to accomplish in March, what my goals were. I don't even remember what I said in that video. I feel like so many things have happened since March. I got vaccinated. I prepared really very intensely for a competition, and now all of that's behind me and I have like the final stretch of the semester ahead of me. So I kind of wanted to just recap March a little bit, so I can be like intelligible going forward and not just skip out on so many things. Basically, I was super intensely focused on this competition, and I was practicing a lot, which is great because that's something I've been working on. I was super motivated. I was playing for people, and I felt really good about how I played during the competition. And unfortunately, it didn't go the way I hoped it would go in terms of the results. And mid to late March was when this happened, and then the results like didn't come out the way I had hoped for, and then suddenly I realized that I had totally stopped like exercising and getting good sleep habits and making YouTube videos and like doing creative things. And I also had been kind of slacking on my bigger homework assignments, and I suddenly felt really panicked. And it's been hard to like come back to making a YouTube video because there's so much to explain, and I think I don't have to really explain all of it. It's not really what matters. But I think I made good strides in not only my playing, but also like my motivation to do well on my instrument. But something that I want to work on going forward is making a healthy balance of all aspects of life, because I don't want to be good at my instrument at the expense of having bad life habits outside of my instrument. It's been hard to just pick up my phone and decide to make a new YouTube video, but I just actually went to the library and did some work on a paper that's due like a month from now, which I never do. And it felt really good. And like the walk from the library to my car is like 15 minutes, and I was just outdoors. I don't know, it was nice. And I thought, okay, well, there's no perfect time to make this YouTube video, so I'm just gonna get in my car and talk about how I feel. And yeah, so that's pretty much the update. Going forward, I don't know what this video is about yet. You guys know, you've read the title. But I think I want to make this video about like having a routine and getting through a list of everyday things that I want to do every day. I have this little list on my phone. It's a checklist in my notes app, and it's just a bunch of small things that I want to have accomplished every day in some capacity. I'll tell you guys more about that later, but like one of them is like do one chore around my apartment, and another is open my viola case and play. Another is do at least a little bit of homework. I have stretching. So anyway, I'll get to that. But I'm just craving balance and a routine, and sometimes it just feels impossible. I'm really, really busy right now. School is kind of picking up, not only because the pacing of the semester is like culminating in April, which it always does, but the pandemic is thankfully getting better, and we've been able to have orchestra, and I have chamber music concerts this weekend, and I just have a lot going on. And when I have a lot going on, it feels difficult to make time to physically go to the school library to do homework or to go out and exercise. Like, the quickest and easiest thing is always to just open up my phone and sit there. and scroll, or to make a phone call to a friend or family member. And that's a valuable thing, but I really just want to feel more organized and on top of everything. And I think I can make it this next month because I have a lot of homework assignments, performances, I'm recording for another competition, and I want to be able to maintain all the energy that I felt really good about for the competition I did in March and keep that for this next competition I'm doing, because you never know, the results might be totally different for one competition versus the next. But also, I want to do well on my homework assignments. I want to stay healthy. I want to be happy. I want to be well rested. And I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life. And I know all those things are possible. I just have to get organized. So that's my goal for this month, I think. Good morning. Yeah, it's still the morning. It's been happening for the past 2 weeks where I just feel so sleepy when I wake up, and it doesn't throw my whole day off, but anything I plan to do in the hours between 8 and 11 a.m. just like don't reliably happen. It's the next day from the clips you saw earlier, and I think I've decided what I want this video to be about. I just have so much going on. Like I said yesterday, I don't want my success in my practicing and performing to be at the expense of like keeping my apartment clean and drinking enough water or getting my homework done, getting enough sleep. And it's so tough when I have so many things going on. I have a full day where I do a bunch of things and I end the day just feeling down about all the things I didn't do. So what I want to do is find ways to pace myself in the bigger projects that I have. Mainly that is making 2 really big recordings for a competition by May 1st and writing this big paper that I have to write for one of my classes by May 5th. And in between there, I have 4 concerts that I can think of off the top of my head that I have to perform in. I have a bunch of other homework assignments here and there. And like, I want to keep my apartment clean. It feels so easy to get up and feel happy and get work done when my apartment is clean. But you know, there's things on the floor, and over time, like I'll leave my jacket where it's not supposed to be, and there'll be a pile of shoes accumulating near the door, things like that. So all that is to say, I have devised a list, a checklist that includes items that I aim to check off every single day, and I'm gonna go through that with you guys. So the first one is wash my face and use moisturizer in the morning. I pretty much do that anyway, but sometimes I don't feel like it, and it's really so easy to do. So that's number 1. The second one is put on makeup. So I don't view this as a necessary thing, like to succeed in life, but wearing makeup is something I used to do every single day before the pandemic, and it brought me like joy, and it was kind of a way to be creative, and you know, like it was a physical act of self-care. I have all this makeup that I love, but like wearing a mask covering up 2/3 of my face kind of puts a damper on the type of makeup I used to do, which is, you know, foundation and blush and lipstick and eyeshadow. But I don't want to just lose touch with my love for makeup, and there's definitely ways to wear makeup that work with a mask. I'm wearing some right now. If I do it every day, I know that I'm engaging with myself in a creative way that's really like low stakes and fun. The next one is have a smoothie. I love making smoothies. I'm not really good at cooking. I'm really good at making smoothies because you just throw it all in the blender and then blend it together. As someone who uses my body for school to play my instrument, it's important that I get enough protein, and I have protein powder that's 15 grams per scoop. It's really good for me when I have days where I have a protein smoothie. The next bullet point just says exercise. Back in January and February, I was doing like exercise videos and toning my muscles and stuff, and I love doing that. I haven't really felt motivated to do that lately, but I still want to at least like get outside and go on a walk, or you know, do anything that could count as exercise. And that's why I'm not specific in this bullet point. I don't want there to be some sort of high standard that I have to achieve in order to check it off. I just want to incorporate healthy movement that isn't playing my instrument into my day in one way or another. The next bullet point is open my viola case. I guess I could technically open my viola case and then shut it. But the point is, like, it's not practice this many hours or anything like that. Whether I have a full day of going to rehearsals or a not full day where I just have all day to figure out my practicing, any of those scenarios could help me to check off that open my viola case bullet point. And that way I'm not struggling to achieve, like I said before, some ridiculously high expectation every day. I can reasonably expect myself to get my viola out at least once per day. The next one is do one chore. I'm not a messy person, but things can get disorganized or surfaces need to be wiped down. It's easier to keep up with that kind of thing if I just do at least one per day. Picking up the floor area around my desk or where I practice, because papers and books and stuff can just kind of get strewn about, or hanging up stuff in the closet that has been worn and not been hung up again. It really helps me to just feel better when I wake up and look at my surroundings if things are being taken care of on a regular basis. The next one is say no to something. My sister inspired this one. It's kind of a vague one, but I have in general, like as a part of my personality, a habit of saying yes to a lot of things without thinking through if I really have time or energy or desire to do them. I want to practice getting in the habit of just saying no to things. And it doesn't matter what it is, I just want to say no to something. Whatever feels like will serve me best, I want to be thinking about that and say no to something that will not serve me. The next one is read at least 10 pages. For now, since I'm like in the middle of writing this really big research paper, I'm counting homework, but ideally I would love to just like read. There's some people who just like, as soon as they have free time, they grab a book and they love reading, and I love reading too, but it's for some reason it takes some convincing to get myself to do it, and it's just a good thing to do. Reading is good for you. So I want to be reading regularly, even if it's just only 10 pages. The next one is fill up my water llama. Water Llama is this app that I have that tracks my hydration and my beverage intake per day. I have a goal of 128 ounces of hydration per day. So that's a gallon of water, or, it calculates how much more water I need to rehydrate after drinking coffee or a smoothie or fruit juice. It's good to be hydrated. That helps me feel more awake, and this app that I have is really fun. It's a good thing to be staying hydrated throughout the day and being able to check that off at the end of the day. The next one is stretch. Stretching is really important for my arm and neck and shoulder health in terms of my viola playing, and also just like stretching out my legs or my back or the muscles between my ribs just like makes me feel better in general. Sometimes it's hard to remember to stretch, but I always am glad that I did after I stretch. And the final one is to wash my face and put moisturizer on at the end of the day. Especially if I accidentally stay up too late, the last thing I want to do is like stand there in the bright lights of my bathroom and go through the trouble of brushing my teeth and flossing and washing my face, putting eye cream on, moisturizer. But it's not that hard, and if I have the incentive of just checking off my final box at the end of the day, I think that'll help me to stay more accountable about doing that. I don't have a box about getting a certain amount of sleep because I'm working on my state of mind when I hear my alarm go off in the morning. Maybe I can add a box at some point about getting to bed at a certain time, but I'm trying not to be rigid with these. I think in order to incorporate balance in my life, rigidity is not going to help me get there. And there's some days where I have so much more to do than other days, and I want to be able to reasonably achieve all my goals on both kinds of days. Some days I don't think I'll be able to go to bed at 10. Some days I don't think I'll be able to get enough sleep, unfortunately. I do want to get better this month about just getting started earlier in the day. I was really good about that in February, and it felt nice to have all my tasks accomplished by dinner time, but lately I've kind of had really slow mornings, so I'm gonna try and figure that out. But as for my checklist, I don't see a way to make sleep a reasonably attainable and flexible goal on my checklist yet. So, busy as I am, I'm going to try to make at least one more video this month about working out this balance and how it's going. I really appreciate you for watching this video and taking the time to check in with me. Maybe this checklist idea will work for you if you feel like you have too many things going on and you're losing touch with the activities that help ground you. That's definitely how I felt last month. Hopefully I can check off most of these most days. The goal is to check off all of them every day, but hopefully I can check off most of these most days and feel more balanced and a little more settled on a day-to-day basis rather than running to catch up with all the things I didn't realize I was neglecting or putting off. So feel free to follow me on Instagram and subscribe. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.